Let's talk about what's going on in Germany, shall we? What's this front page of Bild, Jan? How would you translate this?
Well, the next round, what does Flick mean by that? Because he didn't want to comment on everything that is in the media. The thing is, what's happening now at Bayern is, first of all, they're winning all games except this last game, but they're still winning games. But there's a fight between Hans Flick and Brazzo, which is Salihamidzic, the head of sport. Right. And the head, it's about power, it's about positioning.
And then you tweeted this today, Don, saying, all signs from Munich telling me that Hans Flick will be the next German national coach. I've been wrong a couple of times in my life, but I don't think I will be wrong here. Bayern got to find a new coach.
Yeah. That was Jan. Jan who tweeted that. Yeah, okay.
Why? What did I call you?
Don. You call me Don, but that's okay after that show from Don.
I've got Don on my head. So, Jan, you tweeted that. So Flick is going to go mainly because of what's going on upstairs?
No, not at all. I think what I do now is that they look for an end game, because Joachim Low will leave as head of the German national team. And the candidate number one in Germany is Hans Flick. He worked there as an assistant from 06 till 14. He's a world champion. He's been in a lot of roles in football, and they want Hans Flick. So now they're looking for a end game. What will they do? Well, they keep going on with this fight, because Bayern Munich don't want him to leave because they don't have an alternative. They would love to have Nagelsmann, but I can't see that happening. RB Leipzig would let him go. So they keep on going about this thing that started with a power battle about new players. For example, Salihamidzic doesn't like that Flick always plays with the players that will go out in the summer, like Boateng and all these players, Alaba, who goes out in the summer. And the new players, he means, hasn't got all the credibility or all the strength that I have. And before this game, suddenly at the press conference day, suddenly there was about Boateng. Yeah, we'll take him out. And Flick is not that kind of player in the media. So what I think is that they're now looking for an end game. They will have to find a way, and then they will say in the summer that Hans Flick will be leaving because of this. But I don't think so. I think, honestly, personally, that Hans Flick wants to be the new German national team coach, and Bayern got a problem, because then Bayern needs a new coach.
Well, Bayern, of course, have got a problem more in the short term, is they need to turn over a 3-2 defeat that they, of course, picked up in the Champions League this week, going into Paris next week. According to the bookies, let's see who they have as favourites. PSG, 3-1 on. Very much heavy favourites. Bayern, 9-4. Ali, what was interesting yesterday, Xhaka, Craig, Frank, Jurgen all thought that Bayern would have come back and go through to the semi-finals. Do you agree with them?
I do. I think
Really?
Bayern Munich is a far superior team to PSG, regardless of what the scoreline was yesterday. Now, here's what was surprising about Bayern Munich. Coming into the match, if you had said, well, there's going to be a team with a plan, who's going to look structured, who's going to look like a machine, who's going to be efficient and effective in the way they play, you would have said, that would be Bayern Munich, obviously, because having seen PSG coming into this game, they had no structure. They had no organization. It's just individual talent kind of popping in and out of spaces and perhaps resolving a problem for them. They had not been playing well. And yet, I thought Bayern Munich got panicky, got desperate, got disorganized, got stretched. All the things that you don't expect from Bayern Munich, it happened to them. And because they got stretched, because they felt like they needed to get after PSG, because they felt like they needed to score goals, because they thought that the game was getting away from them, that actually played against them. And so now you have Kylian Mbappe running with free space and time and all sorts of ability and skill. He exploited his abilities and skills because Bayern Munich allowed that to happen.
So why will that change? Why will that change, Ali, why will that change in the second leg?
Because I imagine that a team that has been as successful as Bayern Munich would recognize that once they sit down and they watch themselves play, they can go, how in the world did we lose this? And so there are ways to attack PSG, and there are ways to exploit the spaces that PSG affords you, and also not be so disorganized behind the ball as Bayern Munich was. And I think Bayern Munich will correct that. I don't think PSG can get any better. I don't think that PSG all of a sudden is going to take their game to a different level entirely. I don't think they have that in their game. We saw what PSG are and what they will be. It's up to Bayern Munich to finish their chances and defend better, and I think they can do both.
Jan?
I don't agree with the boys. I think there is a big chance that the Bayern Munich, maybe the biggest favorite to win the Champions League, will be knocked out in Paris. There are different reasons for that. It's point one, Süle is out. That is one defender. Goretzka is out. He probably out for the game. Goretzka and Kimmich maybe being the key players to the stability of Bayern Munich going forward. Lewandowski is out, and we saw that how much that meant. The replacement should be Gnabry. Choupo-Moting, yes, he scored a goal, but they had 25 chances against PSG. I'm not 100% sure that Bayern will manage to do this, because Bayern away with that defense standing high, and you can say, yeah, they did that in the Champions League knockout stages last summer as well. But this year in the Bundesliga, have a look at how many goals they conceding. And Neuer, great goalkeeper, has saved them in many games. And in this game, even he did a mistake. So this could be the big surprise that PSG will knock Bayern Munich out of the Champions League.
But it's not a surprise. That's the whole thing, isn't it? It can't be a surprise now with PSG being such big favourites, Jan.
No, but it's still a surprise because you have to see it over 2 games. Yes, in this game, PSG... I mean, Bayern Munich, if you saw the numbers, if you saw the stats, Bayern Munich with Lewandowski would have probably won 6-2. They would have killed him. But it didn't happen. And you'll see now in the away game, and you see a PSG team who are struggling in the French league. They're losing as Lille. Lille is number 1 in the league. So this is not the best PSG team. But still, they managed to score the goals against Bayern Munich, and that is not the strength of this German champions.
Yeah, remember, Bayern Munich need 2 goals at least if they're going to go through, Don. I know it was no Villarreal Dinamo Zagreb, the game that you just called for the UK, Don, but what a match this was.
It was unbelievable. It was a frightening game. It was one of the best games I've seen for a long time. And, you know, I agree with the boys where I think Bayern might go through. I think Pavard surely has to go and play as a centre-half. I think it's an emergency just to try and offer that bit of strength and pace. But I thought Coman was excellent. I thought Leroy Sané was on the fringes of being excellent. He was terrific 1v1, just couldn't provide that final ball and final moment. But the last half an hour of the game was all Bayern. You know, I was watching the game and I was tweeting alongside lots of people across Europe when we were trying to predict the final results. I thought it was going to be 3-3.
Well,
and it
Don,
could have
not
been
just
anything.
Europe.
It could have been something like
outside Europe, people care about soccer.
Well, you know what I mean. But there was the way the game was going, it felt like if Bayern took their chances. And Jan's right. If Lewandowski had played, he'd have scored 5.
But he won't play.
And
He won't play in the second leg
of the game. No, I know that. But watching the game without him, they still created 30-odd chances and good ones. And a true scoreline of the game could easily have been something like 6-3 Bayern. They were fantastic second half, I thought, Bayern.
Yeah, I agree with you that they were fantastic, but you also know that PSG will score goals. Yeah. You just feel that every time they will score a goal. I mean, yes, Bayern was dominant, but still PSG was a part of the entertainment. I mean, PSG going forward was efficient and so on. So I think this could be the big one.
Where do you stand on this, Stevie?
PSG will score goals if you allow Kylian Mbappe to run at Nicol like he's not even there. Or you allow Kylian Mbappe to run on Jerome Boateng and he's backing up. At some point, Bayern Munich has to be able to address Kylian Mbappe and not leave your center backs, your 2 big center backs, and saying, yeah, you guys got him. Yeah, with speed. Yeah, you got him. On a high line. Yeah, sure, you got him. That's a part of the game that I didn't quite understand from Bayern Munich, how disorganized they were in the back line when they had possession of the ball.
I'm like everybody else. I think Bayern can win the second leg and go through. However, it's a little worrying when it seems that everybody at Bayern is suggesting that the way they went about it the other night is fine.
Yeah,
and
this
to do that
Flick
again.
Flick said after the game, didn't he?
Because how is it acceptable when you go about a game in a certain way and you lose and you think that's okay? Particularly, and we can talk about the chances and we can talk about who was and wasn't playing. But the fact of the matter is, if you're playing against a side that has Neymar and Mbappe in it, and you want to open up and give them opportunities, then you're asking for trouble. They have to take a leaf out of Pep's book. Look at Manchester City. That's pretty much what they were. They were like, you know what, we're just going to score more goals than everybody else. And sometimes they came unstuck. They have to do that. They have to work defensively, a good starting positions when they're going forward, not when they lose the ball, because it's too late then. So they have to take a leaf out of Pep's book, and if they do that, they can still go and beat PSG. They don't have to take a gamble, because that's what it would be. If they go and do what they did the other night, I think they're gambling with their own chances. So it depends how they go about it.
Yeah, and what's the big difference between this version of Bayern Munich and the one that beat PSG in the Champions League last year?
Robert Lewandowski, point one. Point two, that they're conceding too many goals now. That is a pattern now. They're losing 3 goals at home in the Champions League. And they're losing goals in the Bundesliga, and that is a big thing. Remember when we had the knockout stages last season, before the Champions League final, we said, could they have this back four so high, Mbappe, and they will kind of kill them? Well, they didn't. They won the Champions League. But this time they did. And I didn't like the comments after the game, and I agree with Stevie on that they say, well, this is the right way to play because we created so many chances. Well, ask Mbappe how he thinks their system was. I think he finds it quite good.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.